fights with me all of the time. Right, anyway, you're making these little windows in your egg at the top here, which is why you've marked out this sort of circle area. And then, again, you just cut it. Cut down these sides first, is the easiest way. And then sometimes it's easier if you just cut the whole thing out first, so you've got a smaller piece to work with. And then, actually, you know what, I'm going to cut down all the way to the edge of these windows, because that will also make it easier for me in the long run. Then we'll cut the egg shape out. Staying within that border if we can, but don't worry too much about it. There we go. Trying to get it right to roughly the same level. You can see that that's a little bit out, but it's not too bad. I'll snip it a little bit. And craft foam actually tears pretty easily as well if you need to tear a piece, but it depends on the finish you're wanting. Right, and then these little windows, because we've cut right down to there, you can just cut them like that. Cut these little curves. Oops, I'm trying to get that bit in it. And pull that out. And see, that'll join right up with, oh, I'm getting in the way of the light. I'll join right up with there once we get to the gluing stage. Do the same on the other side. There's always one side that's slightly easier for you, one side that's slightly harder. It depends what hand you're using. If you're left-handed, probably this side would be easier. There we go. And then we've got this kind of shape to go along with this. There we go. That's two of them. And then let's line this up again, this new shape we've got. Now one day I'll have a camera that doesn't freak out and start going a bit weird on me. Today's not that day. So hopefully it's holding up. Try and draw along there. It's a bit difficult because this is a very thin piece of foam and it's very bendy. And this bit with the windows might be a little bit difficult as well, because it will also be bending around a little bit. But it's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect at all. And we've got that shape, which is roughly this. And then we'll bring this down. And we'll make a sort of a circle here. Oh, also, that's the thought. You might want to mark where the windows end here. Where the windows end in this little area here. See, I've just marked the bottom of them there, which is actually just where the circle I was making comes to, fortunately. It's almost as if I planned that. And then you cut out this shape now. So we go right down to there, right down to the circle. Ignoring the egg shape, because that is not the part we need. We already have an egg shape. And cut around your circle again, trying to stay fairly within the border, because remember you drew around the shape before. So this will in fact be slightly bigger than it needs to be. But it doesn't really matter. You can adjust. Right, there we go. There's the circle. And then if we get all the pieces together, you can see they more or less fit on top of each other pretty well. Yeah? Yeah, it's okay, isn't it? Right, okay, so glue. I like to use this stuff because it's not as scary as super glue, but it is pretty good. Ugh. Right, so we'll get our egg shape here. And oh goodness, I've got far too much glue coming out of there. Be careful of that. That can be an issue with this glue, I'm afraid. You squish the tube a bit too much and it all comes out at once. Ugh. Sticky hands now. But it's pretty good, so I'm going to keep using it. Right, try and line that up. Line that up at the top. This will probably be over slightly, but that won't really show up in the end. Not unless you're looking for it. Right, and then line that all up. And also this glue gives you a bit of, see how that wiggles a little bit? You can still move it around for quite a while after you've glued it. So just gently tap them all down in the place you want them. And try and push these little things, these little tops of the windows in towards this main stem here. There you go. And then it's, stuck to me a little bit. Then it's the same process with this. So put some glue on the back of that, all the way up that. And then glue this onto there and get your stem aligned. Just gently tap it down. And it should hold pretty well. Now, once you've done that, you will want to paint it. Oh, also, you'll want to put the lid back on your glue so that it doesn't all dry out. There we go. Okay, once you get to this stage, you'll want to paint it. And you'll want to paint it with acrylic paint, and you'll probably want it to be black. Because black is a very good base colour if you're turning things metallic. Now, I did have, there it is. Here's one I made earlier, and I've put the black paint on it already, which is mostly dry. You can see the brush marks. You could also spray paint this, which would not leave the brush marks on it. That's always an option, and it might lead to a better finish. But in this case, I just brushed it on. Right, okay. Then you want a palette, for which I'm using a bit of foil. And you want some metallic paint. This is a copper colour, which you might want gold instead. It just depends what you like best, really, and what you think fits the piece best. I think copper will probably work on this. Right. And then you get a tiny bit and you sort of get most of it off it. Like that. And then, glue's got stuff. There we go. Then, eventually, you sort of start brushing it on very lightly. And you might not be able to see it on the camera, but that is, the edges of it are actually picking up a tiny little bit of the copper. Excuse me, while the brush hits the camera. Oh, and again, sorry about that. Don't exactly have a great zoom function on this. I think you can just about make it out now that that's starting to pick up the copper. And this might take a while. The more patience you have for this, the better. I tend to get a bit impatient and then just start putting it on too thickly. But you just keep on get a little tiny bit of that and then just rub it a lot. It's a dry brush, by the way. You don't wet your brush beforehand for this. So if you have had to clean your brushes, I gotta get that out of the way. If you have had to clean your brushes recently, then just make sure you dry them really, really well. And it should be fine. There shouldn't be an issue at all. See how that's starting to take? See just along the edge of it there? And this takes a very long time. Usually I might just overdo it and show you. Because it might look better in the camera if I do it that way. Right, let's try. Yeah, see, I've put way more on it now. And you're starting to see it a bit better on the camera. Now, if you're making one of these a bit more realistic, this bit here would probably be like a half sphere. Like if you could find like a metallic looking button, maybe, like around one of those rounded ones you get, that would probably work pretty well for that. Now, I don't know what amount you would want to put on. I think it's looking okay as it is. It's still a little bit too dark in here. I feel like I could bring that in a bit. But you do want these little windows to be black. So afterwards, you might want to go over it and put some more black in there, just in case some of the metal colours come through. And also, I can't really see it here, but I can see, don't know if you can, there's a little bit of the foam colour, this colour, just showing through there. So I'll probably put some black paint in there. But anyway, that is how to make a Bajoran badge for yourself. And if you would like to show me how yours came along, that would be lovely. And I will see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye.